What's up, y'all? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about 5 mistakes platinum players make. For those new to the channel, I'm a master's level controller player, but this split I decided I would make a new account and I would get to diamond 100% on mouse and key. I have very little mouse and key experience. I'm talking like 10 games of Valorant, and a RuneScape account I haven't played in like 2 years little. Even with that, I still hit diamond with a 2KD, and I'm here to tell you how. The first mistake I want to talk about is the one you noticed the first in the game, hot dropping. I've talked about how bad hot dropping is in ranked before, but to be honest, it's not an automatic death sentence. The issue with hot dropping is that you have to do a lot of micromanagement to make sure you actually survive it, and that's really hard to do without perfect communication. First of all, you need to make sure you're on the outside of the other teams and not in between any. Second, if you drop with 2 or more teams, you should do everything in your power to not be the first one to fight. The first to start the fight is the first to get third party. I played with so many players that would grab a gun and run straight into the other team just to get folded, didn't even live long enough to get third party, just left me and the other teammate 2v3v3. While I can kind of hold my own on mouse and key now, I'm not going to consistently carry a fight like I could on controller, so it's usually a quick death for me. And I'm assuming if you're stuck in platinum, you're not 1v3ing super often, so you should try and avoid the situation as much as possible. The second mistake I want to talk about is wasted movement. I'm not sure why this is. Maybe they watch too many ASU videos or too many TikToks, but I saw so many players trying to crouch spam, hitting these super short strafes and other weird movement in fights that just didn't make sense. I'm literally not capable of crouch strafing on mouse and keyboard because I'm not used to it, and I still win the majority of fights. Rock beats crouch spam every single time. You can have terrible movement, but good positioning is going to win you fights. It'll always be more important to hit your shots instead of crazy crouch spam tap strafe nonsense.
Yeah, Noko, I didn't, if you had really good movement, Noko, you can literally body slam a player and kill him somehow. You know that, Noko? You know, like, movement can, like, kill a player? I didn't know movement was more important than aim in this game.
Third mistake that kind of combines with their wasted movement is bad positioning. This is pretty general, but the 2 biggest things I noticed were teams clumping together and letting me get angles really easily, or players challenging me with no cover. When you're engaging in a team fight, you don't want to be too close to your teammates unless you're pushing a close range engagement. And at mid distance, you want to have multiple angles and look for easy knocks. A lot of times I could easily rotate to the side of another team and get a free knock while they stared down my teammates. When other teams weren't letting me get a rotation for free, they were pushing me in the open with no cover, or they were rotating the map with no cover. Just because you're not expecting a fight doesn't mean you can just run in the open. Regardless of how good you think you are as a player, you don't want to constantly try to 1v1 players with no cover. Especially in ranked, you want to avoid 50-50 fights at all costs. You never know when the other guy is going to get lucky and just beam you, or if it's a super close fight and their teammates get to you quick and finish you off. Number 4 mistake, over peeking. Platinum and below players tend to have this weird idea that when the gunshots start, they have to empty their entire mag or someone has to go down, whether it's them or the other team. But that's not the case. You can do 100 damage and stop peeking even if you're not that damaged. You don't have to fully commit to one clipping every opponent. I don't know what goes through a lot of players' minds in the middle of fights, but when you play high level ranked, you get a feel for how long you can peek in a fight before you get dropped. That's why a lot of pro players are quick to call another player sus if they get beamed instantly. Unless the other player is not looking my way, I try to duck in and out of cover constantly. Just because a player misses their first few bullets doesn't mean they can't get lucky and connect with the next 10. You have to make them win multiple exchanges and work for that knock on you. Going down for free is going to make winning team fights 10 times harder. The last thing I want to talk about touches on every move you make during the game: short-sightedness. You don't want to focus 100% of your energy on what's directly in front of you. You have to think about how the whole game is going to play out. If you're thinking about fighting someone, it's not always about whether or not you can win that 1v1. It's about, can you win the whole team fight, or will you get third partied, or can you kill the possible third party, or is all that fighting going to ruin your rotation? So many players just see someone and instantly start shooting or just chase gunshots even in ranked. Constantly playing like that is going to end up with you back in the lobby losing RP or slowly gaining RP. Winning games, barely hitting max KP, or with a little less is still going to be more RP than dying in 10th place with 10 KP. Those are the top 5 mistakes plat players make. Hopefully you learned something and this video will help you hit your rank goals this season. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to like and subscribe. You can find me on Twitch and Twitter at InkelWeTrust. Thanks again for watching. Peace.